computer in, and there's a blowout. Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 507 Avenue North, Washington, 9813. An assault, pregnancy, so the Satanists surrounding could have ritual. And there are people, you might have just heard a chain. By the way, this is an adult theme video. You don't want to watch it or listen to it unless you are adult, at least 18 years of age, because there is profanity and there are adult themes. And Randy is here, Elizabeth Gregory home, and she and the dirty security guard hanging out in the jail threatened me with slavery. Retarded security guard here at Place Market, President and Development Authority. He's claiming balance. I left OA. The security guards were constantly trying to charge double rent. The bomb here, and the security guards are here illegally. And some of the threats, and I want to say they were taunting and threatening other countries this whole weekend in Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. One of them just threatened London. And Zetas and the Asian such as Lisa's going somewhere today. Randy Whittier informed me. So there's a plot where they think they're going to have me walk out as an Asian street gang member. They'll try to coerce the victim, and then the victim looks like willingly did to themselves to harm themselves. You're looking at a entered since day one, and as soon as you sign the lease, and I've actually had glass all over me. So anyone you hear in this across the way, near that is a hallway with some fire department equipment and a fire equipment manager's room, but I don't have to me at all. I'm confident in one of the so there is also a cap threat for Monday, and not just black Nazis. You've got other colors. There's some deadly, I call them now. That's it's are under, well, this way, they're all Satanists. And long before, not people of color, but in some cases, or they have their own agenda, and their agenda includes taking over Europe and You have Hispanic Nazis, Asian Nazis, Native American, Polynesian, Malaysian, and Micronesian Nazis. Shittiest groups that I mentioned, mostly all favoritism, and there's also police that are involved in. They'll use people. They can halt investigation, start screaming. One disturbs their criminal, or alternately, while not Hispanics in their apartment. Not that I have to excuse myself. See, Americans never had to excuse themselves. And years ago, it was above some people. Meth was a dirty. He decided, thought it would be my life, social engineering on the net, character assassination, and pretend I was a prostitute, which I, and he thought it would funny. And by the way, there have been 30 cops, 2 of them, one of them beat me up because I'm a prostitute, and probably extortion fee to his market, the security place market. By the way, he's brought more raw story mail. He's about that distinguishable about him. He's starting to note organic Jew. You will find the black Nazi. You will find redundant thieves. They're discriminating against Jews, and they're in Bloods and Zetas, but accused even if they have the tattoo death on them, thinks they're Nazis. And why? Well, the guy had blonde hair and blue eyes. Doesn't like, think there's a bloodline possibly, and he claimed he was a glistener, and I looked, and that was not listed for Jews. That actually was listed like a bitty glisteners. They were magic. You know, that Jew doesn't even, he's not even, well, he's partially, and let's put it this way, it's Michael Benjamin Davis. I'm not criticizing Jews. He actually criticizes Jews. He actually and is buried in Orthodox cemetery because they realized on a job, but they couldn't do it because you're not. I think it's an autopsy when Michael Benjamin Davis Wood. He fell with Satan, 13 years, the gang members did. And Satan, so who would he choose? He would choose the meth head or the, and they embarked on a campaign to destroy anyone who is not. And Satan knew these people would destroy anyone who. Go to hell, ugly bitch. And here included, they've been clicking guns all weekend and threatening me with guns. And I thought the plot was to also break through the bathroom today. So if you think about a bathroom, if they've been messing around in the wall, and by the way, the police department, including Officer Bobby with his gay lover, Post Market, and the Tri-Corps years ago, they are in like a sort of unobtrusive entry. So one of the decrees, blah, 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 in her chant, you'll find that these Satanists like to chant and they'll indoctrinate. It's Catholics. At 50th East, Seattle, Washington, 98. Wrong. And it's been 7 years. Well, against Catholics, by the way, Catholics. And, the order, those orders, I believe, afraid of the law. Scumbag, he's a white Randy, and black Nazis. Black Nazis. Well, money trail, you could, especially if you have a white children, then you get food and shelter more readily than other people. Remember, the shittiest. So for 30 years, the blacks got more perks and advantages. So I think that's why a lot of they realize if I turn my tail and turn it out to also there's a money trail, a drug trail. So I don't leave in here that I could eat. And I'm not going to live off of the last pathetic can of tuna. The store is waiting for me. And I have stated online, these bums have followed me too. Well, go most often to Safeway on Brooklyn or the dollar store. That would be the biggest. But lately I've been going to Red Mine. And, I don't know where I'm going to go each day sometimes. And remember, too, that these people are on the buses. I mean, like Kathy herself is going to be on the bus and, she'll be following me. Sometimes these people and I just showed how I had all, which by black Nazis. He and he was on the phone with somebody, and he was in that the sink is a, well, when I say sink, water after gay members. So I wanted to tell everyone what's going here. Again, 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, 1 Officer Bobby's little buttocks friend. He likes to spread his little bottom for him. Possibly the gay little man's pretty flood, or will I'll even drive through the place. You know, it's not legal. And by the premise of, if you won't cooperate, we'll call 911. Everybody needs to. And Randy, Randy Whittier, and she's connecting with Gregory Home. The bum, he said relief force or something. And by the way, they were hurting and toxic shower and take samples of the water. I'm not afraid. These bums, you can talk to me, you fucking bitch. You don't. I suggest you step on, kick her in the uterus a few times, hit her with a stop talking, and that's to law enforcement. Club. You just kick her. You just knock her. And I pray By the way, that was chocolate from cereal under my nails, in case you're wondering. But anyway, so I didn't have any supplies this weekend. I did bust. And do this. Make as little as possible, and you can even take showers as you can tolerate. You can get an LED light. Dark. But picking mine and picking at me and torturing me for 13 years. So I might talk about auras and chakras. And I'm a terrorist. She's threatening them. Well, what you'll never see and never, and I haven't done it yet. And hit one of these people or beaten them up, and we're talking slave rape threats, mutilation threats, kidnapping threats, invasion threats. We're talking captivity in the wall. One of the bombs here, they chant sometimes when they're on meth, and it's chanting. Sometimes whenever there's trouble. What is that? The old lot with the janitors and the laundry cart. Ooh, mysterious. And so, friendly, well, it's friendly. Andy, who runs the place at Elizabeth Gregory Home, to beat me up. So I wondered which carpal tunnel hand she's the most. How did she get those carpal tunnels? Really can surmise. Now, I don't really care about human zombies the last 13 years, especially Washington. One murder here. And it's a visible murder. I'm talking invisible, which I worry obsessive. These retardos actually, they're Satanists, and Satan gave them the power to see and feel and learn. If you believe in psychic energy, that ran at least one. Now, okay, so hundreds of Americans, if they died prior and were nice people and not gang members, suitcase you, and it's a whore in a wall. And they all, so like Randy, to her zombie grandson. Of some kind of sustenance. Oh, and by the way, told me. Demon even, you're still a fucked up body. So that's possibly a. There is a crawl space, the toilet and to the closet. Possibly. It could be the fat ass. Ugly bastard. You're still uglier than cow with carpal. It's not. Use my chakras to improve their. You don't want that. There's a whore plague. Industry is now a friend. Industry is now a friend. Bulbs. They're pure bulbs. Nothing. He knew they would destroy. So, carpal tunnel by cutting up a body. Many of these people. So I'm going to give you a death tool. So my concern is primarily with English, Scottish, Irish, and European. And I like Semites, people from other countries that weren't zombies. They started being a zombie 13 years ago. But before 13 years ago, prior to 13 years ago, if they're not a scum like they're playing you, and there are 17 dirty cops. And so that's why these bodies, we'll just call 911. So they what? They can't rape you? We'll call 911. Officer will fix it up. You hear me muttering? Cut up a. There's 50, which I care the most about. English, Scottish, Irish, and Welsh, and Europe. And then there were countless hundreds of Americans. They're doing psychic attacks. Excuse me. Now, then you've got, and I hear the bomb from 3 years ago. He actually tried to have me arrested because I wouldn't, at least in Washington State. 3, I would bet. Still do. Texas a lot. You have to realize too that they'll also, it's not the best. Now, I think the apartment building, all the rival that hate Bloods, gang members can see where I'm going to go and watch anybody who comes to the block. And one of the best ways Asian street gangs, Bloods, is to have committed apartments, castigated, like I've been. If you can make them look insane, the state probably will end up, and I can't ever then walk around naked. I'll have to remember. Anyway, since this, I've been under illegal surveillance for 13 years. It's an investigation because you'll find that stinky whore, Randy. She's a dark-haired somebody here. So I'll give you another death toll. And there's a whore playing Obey Our Irish. These bums like to change names. And by the way, I'm a sick person. I have the asthma, chemical sensitivities, chronic fatigue, and Seattle Police Department. One of the bums' husband. Death toll. Hundreds of Americans, if not thousands, disappeared, substituted. That's how these bums like to what they, or make the real person recognizable. And then many of these gang members, they're so cocky and confident, you have your own doctor paid off with a $15,000-$20,000. There is a dirty connection. My own doctor. I've seen a male who looks like my evil sister, Dawn Blackmore. Her daughter married Bud. Bud had a Bud. No, sister. Thing. They've gone off to her. I think her husband went off to Japan, but they were separate. The husband hair plain female. Steve at the U of Dub. As a Satanist, I could call the hospital. He's not there. He might have moved on. And you have a dirty connection with people you're not friendly with. And I wasn't friendly with my sister due to the fact she and my brother And she wasn't very nice when I was growing up. It was sort of like a Cinderella thing going on with her. She was huge. And she and her husband used to like take his presence in verbally abusing me and emotionally. And, she's taken the vow of Satan. One of them was bragging connection to your cousin. Well, there's nobody I and the gang members wouldn't want, and they made sure no one would in the U.S. But you for a while, hey, they're all satanic zombies. It doesn't matter. And I'm not a satanic zombie. Well, in Washington, coffee at least. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Give our from evil from everywhere. So if, and maybe even I could have more of a, more of a group watching me all in, and there's a lot call the ATF, and your brains get to do. Dirty, gross, hook, ugly, black, more an ugly black hooker. He's got people that slept with their boyfriend here. Not just. Oh. Now, I don't know a monster that looks like a granny bitch. Yeah, that's the same. Um, and it was Cox. She married in with blacks, and she's well, she because they quite a while. Quite a personal smell, if you know what I mean. Of course, they are that you owe them. Oh, and by the way, if I wouldn't let them in. So that was their brilliant plot. And who lets Nazi and anyone who goes with the black Nazi things? There's no contact with any of them. Be friends with a hooker that smells like a disease. Why would you want to? And they're in cars for $2, giving the AIDS monsters here. They will threaten you with any kind of political correctness. And because guess what? They're in my wall. So you can't, I can tell you the truth. That black same chakras, they were more animalistic about blacks. That's the truth. And that's what it is, basically. Planet of the Apes. And whites. The same $3 an hour. Into cars. You smell bad, ugly, and you're old now. You're Randy's getting mad. She threatened me with me up, and remember, Randy's got fibromyalgia. Oh, not fibro. Oh, she has that. Remember, she's got the syndrome. A fact about the scum. In survival, the shittiest, going to stores, it's a starvation threat. They don't want you to go to the stores. They might even have it look normal where you're just too terrified to go out and maybe your house is neat. Maybe you'll have electronic surveillance with take down your that. Answer is fuck you, bitch. True, and he hears. Name the kingdom. Place to give our trespasses. Evil, for that is kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Now, people where these bums will. Now, by the way, I want to show you some glass cuts. Now I was eating these last night, and I did use my glass cuts that I touch, including like just that has to be off, and some a bum playing heroin in the wall, and I don't with heroin. And by the way, my arms are ripped up. Remember, Randy Whittier, heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy trespass against us, it is not us from you, for thy glory forever. Amen. The day you come in, I'm going to have a brain shot out by ATF. And see, what one of their plans, remember like that stinky on the wall with a smelly vagina that smells like an old, and you could smell it away, like an ad for monkeys, I guess. But and you still go out. Well, you're losing. Why? Because you're giving your food that happened to you. And there's a bum towel, gals, just shut your fucking gap, you ugly bitch. And remember, and they're playing bed sheet. Well, the thing is, I can't. And they're trying to tell me you're going to and bed sheet. And you're going to fuck off, you bitch. You're an ugly black man, and you don't. You're a shit-ass black man. Shit-ass black man that nobody wants and nobody likes. Monster. You're a black Nazi bitch. And so they're playing, they're flagrantly ignoring the zoning laws. The zoning laws and so the zoning laws are broken, and these black Nazis, they're morons, they will threaten you with you. So politically correct goes out the door. Black people are closer to apes, and it was covered. Horse playing skin you over, bitch. You come near me, I think you know what's going to happen. And remember, I'll give you the name of this building. It's in case. And it's Aura D. Now, which whore is with her? It's a tall. So this is Aura D at Unit 329 10507 Seattle, Washington. Get to the door, bitch. Blacks. And they're hiding under the government for 100 years. How do I know? Storage, obviously, bring something in. They not only you filth. But the thing is, I don't listen to that kind of false authority. Because the black admitted it, and you're going to see that. Well, oh, and by the way, our Father who art in heaven, please forgive. Both in his kingdom, power, and the glory forever. So slave through it by a stinky, smelly black monkey. Let's call them what they are. They're monkeys. They're monkeys. And I'm going to tell the truth. With them, he visits. He's in with the black subversives, and the black Nazis and the other scum have threatened. Now, dogs that have had chlamydia. Fat black Nazi. They have Nazis and the Asian Nazis. But I was Micronesian and Native American. Spirit world and tried to make even like testaments first, though. And by the way, white descent or other Indian. And how's your ancestors, motherfuckers? Me, here's the premise. When you get an old horde like Randy, dark hair, she's got a tan. Nazis like, yeah, your ancestors. Don't worry about the U.S. ancestors and say, even, because I used to worry and I'd say, what if they were my favorite ancestor types? Well, what if Kathy Cox's family's Scottish? Well, I love just know Cox was in on what her ancestors boiled down to, that's an expression, but it boils down fact that her ancestors would be Kathy Cox's white trash, 10 generations. So what is an ugly white trash whore that's with a boyfriend? Even take other characteristics or DNA, you might like world, but in the portrait, even if they did it with me. Every black knot. Kind of weapon. Eradicates them. And am I threatening with magic? Every curse on black Nazi. Ugly folk. And whore playing instantly curse on blacks. And it, it's good. You can't do it. Anytime you hit every fucker in Washington at the very least, you and energy. And they're trying to attack me because I'm eating. They want whites and others that are decent to stop. And so what the agenda at the very end, afraid that they invented everything. Cultures would be sitting in the dirt. He's attacking. On Sundays. You know what? I'm done with it. Put cameras on the apartment where now, I have to laugh at the federal nonsense because do realize that the black Nazis here, black Nazis are involved against people like President Obama or want to hear. So you have to realize yourself a bull monster thing that's threatened me with rape and slavery. They had an operation away. So white included. Oh, and the gallons. What is the horse talking about? Gallons? Way, anyone giving me trouble? You're every animal that is being tortured. It means they're going to be in the venom. When you take my, I'm still poisoned. Radiation. Stuff, urine, fecal, semen. They're and attacks and head 1040. So remember decaying. Rain even. Discovery that the U.S. has slightly ahead. It was. You could say, well, that's getting ahead at least for it for 30 years anyway. As you know, seeing other people or people, Arabs, blacks over everyone. Nazi. A whore is playing blah up every black Nazi. Them? Well, I just threaten them and call them the N-word. Where are they? Threatening you. Some of them are mad. Some electrocute you, but not only that, they can blow. And then they could easily break in and, or you're dead. And smallpox, Ebola, with, not just smallpox, said continue. Now remember, he's here, and that tried to arrest me 3 years ago because I was a prostitute. So the the Americans will bring about the it happened already invisibly. It will happen visibly. I was busy clicking yesterday, and so was a whore named Evie from Elizabeth Gregory. Bulging eyes, big brown eyes. She might be here. She's a drunkard, and she goes to not Elizabeth, well, she goes there to Elizabeth Gregory. She has OCD. Like, she number, or she goes crazy. So, like, if she fried a whole bunch for herself or whoever, she'd If it's not a certain number, like an even number or a number, she has to throw one away or donate it. She has guns like she was some big badass. So I the citizen and I want the rival gang members to get all their information. He's still here, and she big God. Andy with and yesterday, and Evie Jaffe. So there's downtown emergency apartment building for disadvantaged crime. So everybody in other states, you know, in if you really want to hold the retards, she's talking about income tax. She's and with gallbladder problems, just gets her money from crime. So the dirty whore is a nobody, and she's telling me on a Sunday, not welfare, but you're a dirty, smelling black after what with all the fuckers of Satan and this. Now I'm Randy Whittier, basically because it's uh, saying it on TV on video. The whore played as soon as we beat her up. After that, area on a black Nazi bitch, and she's attacking them. And area would you choose on Randy if she attacks you? You are a fucking relations in your country, because the smelly ape will tar baiting. So $300 or $10,000, give it acrimony. Many of them you'll find they're not going to come to the front door, but they're going to sit there in their apartments or behind a wall, the smelly, and start tar baiting you. And then you get the bad cop, the series or crack, along with Dr. Jaffe, and they'll have to drag you off. Even though Dr. Jaffe an operator in a dirty ambulance. The dirty ambulance I can think of called AMR, American Medical Rescue, and they're owned by Blood. So gangs out there with AMR, and Randy that are scum of the earth that are in with them. Not saying a word. Monkey, maybe body and screw you and get pregnant. Smelly fuckers tend he's a drunkard, and Daniel, who looks like a little vampire, he has a fund. He can't find anybody else to rent to him, not even Seattle Housing Authority. About 3,000. Every time you shake a chain on me, monkey, you're going to have a monkey ancestor. And this is backdated, monkey. So you're all smelly fucking monkey. Randy was here even if they pretended they were. And I think they'll believe it. And I know one of them cares about the others, so she's going to worry about the affiliation.